In the heart of Saurashtra, Gujarat, lies a small village named Dhundhoraji. This is where our story begins, rooted deep in the earth. The year is 1974. Life here moved with the rhythm of the sun and the seasons. The Virani family, like most others, were farmers. Their days started before the roosters crow and ended long after the sun had dipped below the horizon. The father, Popatpai Virani, toiled on a small patch of land coaxing life from the soil. He had 3 sons, Bikubai, Chandubai, Kanubai. They were his hope, his pride, his extra hands in the field. Their world was simple, defined by the rumble of bullock carts on dusty tracks, bajra roti dal. Money was always scarce. The unpredictable monsoons could either bless their harvest or wash away their hard work in a single downpour. The family dreamed of a life with a little more certainty, a life where one bad crop wouldn't mean a year of struggle. The brothers watched their father work tirelessly, his back bent under the sun, and a quiet determination grew within them. They learned their first lesson not in a classroom, but in the open fields. That survival demanded relentless effort. They knew they wanted something more, not just for themselves, but for their family. This shared dream was a tiny seed planted in the fertile ground of their humble beginnings. The brothers were inseparable, worked together, played together, dreamed together. Bikubai, the eldest, was the anchor. Chandubai was the innovator, his mind always buzzing with ideas. Kanubai, the youngest, was the diligent worker, ready to execute any plan with focus. Their bond was their greatest asset, forged in the shared hardships of village life. They understood, even as boys, that together they were stronger than they could ever be apart. This unity was the silent promise they made to each other, a promise to face whatever life threw at them as one. Their father, seeing the limited future in farming, made a difficult decision. He sold the ancestral land for a meager 20,000 rupees. It was everything they had. He gave this money to his sons, not as a gift, but as a challenge. He was entrusting them with the family's entire fortune and its future. With this seed money and their father's blessings, the 3 brothers left the familiar comfort of their village. They moved to the city of Rajkot, a world away from the quiet fields of Dhundhoraji, carrying little more than their hopes and the heavy weight of their family's expectations. Rajkot was a bustling, intimidating city. They needed to find work, any work, to survive. Their first venture was in fertilizers farm equipment, but it failed to take root. They lost their father's money. It was a harsh welcome to the world of business. Undeterred, they took up jobs wherever they could find them. Their journey led them to the Astron Cinema, a popular movie hall in Rajkot. In 1982, they were given the opportunity to run the canteen. The pay was a modest 1,000 rupees per month, but for them, it was a lifeline. It was a chance to start over. The cinema was a world of flickering lights and captivating stories. Between movie screenings, the audience would rush to the canteen for snacks. The brothers served soda sandwiches, but they noticed something. The most popular item was the simple potato wafer. However, the wafers they bought from a local supplier were often of inconsistent quality and taste. Chandubai saw an opportunity. Why not make the wafers themselves? They could control the quality, ensure freshness, and perhaps make a better profit. It was a simple idea, born out of a simple observation. This was the spark that would ignite a fire. The brothers turned the small shed behind the cinema into their first makeshift kitchen. Their laboratory was a single large kadai, a basic potato slicer. Every day after their canteen duties were over, they would work late into the night. They peeled potatoes by hand, sliced them thinly, and fried them in hot oil. They experimented with different amounts of salt spices, tasting each batch to get it just right. It was grueling work. Their hands were often sore from peeling. Their eyes stung from the smoke. They were not just frying potatoes, they were crafting their future. Their homemade wafers were an instant hit. The moviegoers loved the fresh, crispy texture, the perfect salty flavor. Word spread quickly. People started coming to the Astron cinema, not just for the movies, but for the delicious wafers. The demand grew so much that they couldn't keep up. They were making a small profit, but more importantly, they were building a reputation. They named their product Balaji, after the deity Lord Hanuman, seeking his blessings for their humble enterprise. This small canteen became the launchpad for their dreams. Hard work, a simple potato transformed into a vision for something much, much bigger. The success at the cinema canteen gave the brothers the confidence to dream bigger. They couldn't stay in the small shed forever. Demand for their wafers spilled beyond the cinema walls. Local shopkeepers started asking to stock their products. The brothers decided to expand. They rented a small space. They invested in a few more kadais. They hired their first employees, often family members, often neighbors. Their days were a relentless cycle: production, packaging, delivery. Chandubai experimented with new flavors. Pikubai managed operations. Kanubai managed sales. They loaded finished packets onto their lunar moped. They went shop to shop, convincing retailers in person. Many shopkeepers were hesitant. Slowly, taste and persistence won them over. Manual production was slow and couldn't meet demand. They needed to automate. In 1992, they took a leap and invested in a factory in Rajkot. They imported machinery to automate the process: peeling, slicing, frying, seasoning. Production capacity skyrocketed. It was a huge financial risk. Their unity mattered. They debated, planned, and decided together. Transitioning wasn't easy. They learned the machines, worked with engineers, and kept improving. Adapting, learning, and embracing technology, while holding to quality and hard work, powered their growth. Large multinational corporations with deep pockets and massive marketing budgets dominated the Indian snack market. Suddenly, the three brothers from a small village faced a David versus Goliath battle. These giants could afford flashy television commercials, celebrity endorsements, aggressive pricing strategies. Balaji, with limited resources, seemed at a clear disadvantage. The competition was fierce. Many predicted the small regional brand would be swallowed up. The big companies tried to push Balaji out of the market. They offered higher margins to distributors and to retailers to replace Balaji products. They launched new flavors and promotional offers to lure customers away. It was a challenging time for the Virani brothers. They couldn't outspend competitors, so they had to outsmart them. Instead of a price war, they couldn't win. They doubled down on strengths: quality taste, deep understanding of the local palate. They knew customers loved the authentic, homely taste of their wafers, something mass-produced chips often lacked. Their strategy was simple, but super effective. While MNCs chased big cities, Balaji built loyalty in rural areas and in semi-urban towns. They kept operations lean, overheads low, allowing good quality at an affordable price. Their biggest weapon was word-of-mouth marketing. Happy customers became brand ambassadors. The brothers believed a good product would win out regardless of flashy rival advertising. One famous moment, a global snack giant, rumored to be PepsiCo, offered to buy them. The amount was staggering. It was a tempting offer, but they discussed and politely declined. Balaji was more than a business: identity, passion, and the fruit of family struggle. They chose independence and continued on their own terms. That choice cemented their reputation as a company with heart and soul, earning immense respect. With their position solidified in Gujarat, the Virani brothers set their sights on the rest of India. The next phase of their journey was marked by the iconic blue trucks of Balaji. Fleet of blue Balaji trucks lined up outside a large factory. Trucks loaded with fresh packets of wafers. Trucks loaded with namkeen. Trucks loaded with other snacks. They began to roll out from their factories in Rajkot. They became a familiar sight on the highways of India. Each truck represented a mobile billboard for the brand. Building a national distribution network was a monumental task. India is vast and diverse, with different tastes and logistical challenges. They established a hub-and-spoke model, setting up depots and warehouses in key locations. Balaji snacks became synonymous with family time, travel, and celebration. Children would munch on their wafers during school breaks. Families would share packets of namkeen over evening tea. Long-distance travelers would look for the familiar logo at roadside stalls. The brothers never forgot their core principle, providing high-quality products at an affordable price. They expanded their product line to include over 65 different snacks, but the classic salted potato wafer remained their flagship product. Today, Balaji Wafers is a 5,000 crore rupee empire. The company operates several state-of-the-art manufacturing plants. They process thousands of tons of potatoes every day. The journey from a single kadai in a cinema shed to this massive scale is a testament to their vision and perseverance. Seeing their blue trucks on the road fills the brothers with immense pride. They built more than a company. They built a legacy that started from the soil of their village. The incredible journey of the Virani brothers from the fields of Dundoraji to the helm of a multi-billion rupee empire offers timeless lessons for anyone with a dream. Dream big, start small. Consistency builds trust. Turn problems into opportunities.